Welcome to Lever Up Tutorials. I'm Marcus. This episode is about leverage, what it actually does, how to read the numbers it produces, and why it's both the most powerful and the most dangerous tool in perpetual trading. If you've ever wondered why a 5% price move wiped out half your position, or why traders talk about liquidation price so seriously, this is the episode that answers it. Let's start with the core idea. When most people think about leverage, they think it somehow multiplies their money. It doesn't. What leverage actually does is multiply your market exposure. You're using a small amount of your own capital, your collateral, to control a much larger position in the market. Your collateral stays the same size. The position you're exposed to gets larger. The formula is simple. Your notional position size equals your margin multiplied by your leverage. So if you put in $100 of USDC as collateral and set your leverage to 10 times, your notional position is $1,000. That $1,000 position is what moves with the market. Your profits and losses are calculated on the full 1,000, not on your original 100. Let me walk through a concrete example so this lands clearly. Say you open a long BTC USD position. You put in $100 as margin. You set leverage to 10 times. Your notional position is $1,000. BTC is trading at $85,000 at the time you open. Now BTC rises 5%. Your $1,000 position gains 5%, that's $50 in profit. On your $100 margin, that's a 50% return. Not bad for a 5% price move. But flip it. BTC falls 5% instead. Your $1,000 position loses 5%, that's $50 in loss. That's 50% of your margin gone on a 5% move in the wrong direction. The market moved 5%. Your margin moved 50. That's the amplification effect of 10 times leverage, working in both directions equally. Now let's talk about liquidation, because this is where leverage becomes genuinely dangerous. When your position's losses eat through a certain percentage of your collateral, LeverUp automatically closes your trade. This is called liquidation. On LeverUp, that threshold is approximately 85% of your collateral value, meaning the market has to move far enough against you to wipe out most of your margin before the protocol closes the position. The critical point here is that higher leverage makes that threshold much easier to reach. Here's what I mean. At 5 times leverage, the price needs to move roughly 17% against you before liquidation triggers. At 10 times, it's about 8.5%. At 20 times, around 4%. At 50 times, under 2%. At 100 times leverage, a price move of less than 1% in the wrong direction can liquidate your entire position. Read those numbers again slowly. 1%, that's normal market noise. That's a candle. At very high leverage, you're not really trading market direction anymore. You're betting on a specific 1-minute window not going against you. How do you set leverage on LeverUp? It's in the order panel. You'll see a leverage slider when you're setting up a trade. You can use preset options. 2 times, 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, 500 times, 750 times, all the way up to 1,001 times. Or you can drag the slider to any value in between. As you move the slider, watch the liquidation price field update in real time. That's your most important indicator. Before you confirm any trade, look at the liquidation price and ask yourself, is there a realistic chance the market reaches that level? If the answer is yes, reduce your leverage until you're comfortable with the answer. For new traders, I'd suggest starting somewhere between 5 times and 10 times leverage. That range gives you enough amplification to feel the market and see your position move meaningfully, while keeping your liquidation price far enough away that normal volatility won't automatically trigger it. You can always increase later once you understand how the platform responds under real conditions. 3 things that trip people up with leverage, so you don't have to learn them the hard way. First, your liquidation price is not fixed after you open the trade. Holding fees and funding rates accumulate over time. These costs gradually reduce your effective collateral, which moves your liquidation price closer to your entry. A position that had a comfortable liquidation price when you opened it may be significantly closer to that line a day or two later. Check it regularly on any trade you're holding overnight. Second, fees on leveraged positions are calculated on your notional size, not your margin. If you put in $100 at 100 times leverage, you're paying fees as if you had a $10,000 position. The cost of entry and the ongoing funding rate are both priced on the notional. This matters more than most new traders realize, especially at high leverage with small margins. Third, never open maximum leverage to chase a trade. 1,000 times leverage means a price move of 0.1% triggers liquidation. That's not a trading strategy, that's randomness. Treat the maximum leverage setting as something that exists for specialized use cases, not as a starting point. Leverage is not inherently bad. Used with the right position sizes and appropriate risk management, it lets you take meaningful market exposure without tying up large amounts of capital. The key is knowing your numbers before you enter, your notional size, your liquidation price, and how much room exists between current price and liquidation. If you know those 3 things, you're trading with awareness instead of luck. The next 2 episodes in this series go deeper on the topics we touched here. The liquidation episode explains exactly what happens when a position closes at the threshold and how to protect yourself. The stop-loss episode shows you how to use TP and SL orders to define your maximum loss before the market forces one on you. Both are in the description. I'm Marcus. See you there.